Okay, it's still dark, but should be getting brighter soon. We'll just keep pushing this way. The snow's going to actually help us see quite a bit now that's on the ground, because we'll see the zombies moving on the snow. But, this way we get out here, it'll start being daylight as we get out here, and hopefully make some real progress. Here's also hoping some of those, like a decent amount of those bodies have disappeared. I'm also starting to worry that we're getting pretty close to time for another helicopter. Alright, no immediate mention of helicopter. Oh yeah, the snow's fantastic. Like, I'm actually bummed that this time playing through, we barely saw any snow. Like, we'd have a day or two with some snow on the ground and then just immediately melt. Oh yeah. Emoldro is pretty compact so far as the area covers, so you can get the zombies from all over the town pretty easy. Like, there's actually entire guides like, here's how you draw all the zombies off of the main room Emoldro. Hey, Moonwitch, how's it going? Snow is fantastic. That statement is blasphemy. Snow is cold and miserable. I don't know. I miss snow. I certainly understand people around snow a lot are like, this is cold, it's awful, why do people like this? But then, you know, some of us who, we have a season, you know, if we really kind of ignore things, we have a season and a half. It's like, snow, leaves changing colors, icicles. This is all exciting and foreign to me. Not really. I'm actually from up north originally, it's just been in Florida too long. Yeah, snow. Burning Sun saying snow is great when it's someone else's problem to deal with. You know, day and day dealing with snow. Yeah, my whole thing was like, so my comparison is okay. I can shovel snow up north. Cool. You can use a snow blower. Cool. But the thing was, I only had to deal with that like a month or two out of the year. Like, it snowed a lot of the time, but it's not like you perpetually had every day it was dumping snow. You'd have a day of dumping a bunch of snow, you'd have to deal with it, and then things were, you know, quote-unquote chill for a little while till the next wave of snow came through. And so you kind of reacted as the snow came through. And sometimes it'd be a lot in a short period of time, sometimes it'd be, you know, long spells without it, all over the place. Versus the alternative is where I'm at here in Florida, you mow your lawn every single day, like, or not every single day, that's a lie, every single week of the year. Otherwise people start like sending you nasty grams from the HOA, because every freaking community in Florida has an HOA just about, if it's not like super old, because we have dumb laws. Now you get to the winter, quote unquote, you get to go every other week you mow. And so it's like, alright, so I could bust my butt real hard for part of the year, and then maybe have to mow 3 or 4 times the entire rest of the year. Or I could have to work on my yard every single week of the entire year, except our downtime where it's only every other week. And it's just like, alright, I think I'd rather just work harder with the snow for less time. Yep, and then you get found as having HOA violations, and then they sit there and they charge you fines, and they can put a lien against your house because our laws are dumb. Like if I don't pressure wash my driveway enough. They can put a lien against the house if I don't take care of it. Yeah. If I could get away from an HOA, I would absolutely do it, but the way Florida law is written, basically anything that isn't been here since like before the 70s is going to have an HOA. Or you're going to live like literally out in the swamp where no one else is nearby. Oh, I wish screen spray paint would work. Like, I actually am trying to find ways that I can bully the HOA with Xeris landscaping, where I can just have landscape I can completely and utterly neglect. You know, invest some money to get it set up and never have to touch it. And Quico says, hey, congrats on 30K. Just started my run, took a couple of tries, but I made it to the cabin on the left side of West Point, feeling safe, slowly pushing for the warehouses. Excellent. Yeah, I actually, I have mixed feelings about like that spot is a really good spot. For me, I don't like how far away it is from all the zombies, but that's just personal taste. Nah, unfortunately, like the HOA is actually like you've probably met the type of person who'll go to your front yard, take out a ruler, and you're like, "What are you doing?" Like if you don't look at my yard and immediately go, "Oh God," like seriously, man, this is terrible. Go away. Don't nitpicky me. Like if I'm starting to get safari in my front yard, I get it. Yell at me, make me deal with it. That's fine. But like if you have to measure to know if or if not I am in compliance, go away. You've got better things to do with your life. I have better things to do with my life. I pushed exerted, so I probably should take this chair and set up. Hey, Zuzana Like Cake, thank you so much for dropping the follow. Let's see. So dropping the file for following, you know what I mean. Oh, I find it amusing that you're like, you were subbed and then followed. That's pretty funny. Foxmouth says, I am currently playing my own run, worked real hard to clear the safe path to Riverside to the gas station, only to have a mad event, shift the zombies around, and the power goes out moments later. Yep. Ah, gotcha. That's the thing, like, I instinctively looked over to it and read it out, and like, oh, it didn't alert, that was a refollow. Yep, nah, I gotcha. It's cool. I've done that before. Like, I've actually gotten to the point where, like, I don't want this person to see it. I'm gonna, like, refollow them while they're offline, because I am too embarrassed. And I shouldn't be, it's fine. It happens. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, it actually, if you notice, it didn't put up the alert. Usually I'm good and I'll wait till I see the alert, but then it's like, I read that and I was like, oh wait, the alert didn't happen. Yep, and it's not a big deal. Like, the UI is crap. You can sit there and tab through and go to, like, hit a button. You hit the wrong tab button, they hit space, and you go, oh, I was on the follow button, not the other one. Oops. Alright, we're just trying to push, get our car, do that whole thing. We have officially passed 32,000 zombies killed. And a lot have been on this one street here. We have killed a lot of zombies on this one street here. Like this spot up here where you can't even make out what it is anymore, the bodies are just so compactly like piled there. Like I'm partly proud of that and partly like, oh jeez, that is just so many zombies we've killed in this spot. And within the last 9 days, if it's that dense of zombies. Yeah, that can be a bummer. I wish they did something like they would, like they do with subs, where it's like, okay, you know, this person has been subbed for like 3 months, and this person has been subbed, you know, like 2 months consecutively kind of thing. So it's like, you know, you subbed for a month, you took a month off, then you subbed for 2 months type thing. Maybe something like that with the follows. Let's say, Suzanne says, we are going to rename gameplay Raw Storage versus everyone. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so we do have one behind us, so let's not get too far with this. Raw Zombie Warrior. Let's see. No, that would be terribler. Terribler? Sourfish says, I actually hate the fact that streamers see who follows them. I follow because I want to watch them, not because I want to support them. I mean, okay. I mean, fair enough. Like, for me, it's about the engagement side of thing. Like, I do understand the engagement is more of a concern from my perspective as a streamer trying to provide content that people enjoy. Because it's not particularly engaging, you know, people get bored, move on to other things. So that's like where, you know, you have the alerts, you do the shoutouts, you do all that kind of stuff. Like, that's all, you know, making people feel welcome, because, you know, they are. And whatnot. I do get the concern. But like, hey, Josie Raider, thank you for the raid. Give me 1 second, I'll get you a shout out. Josie Raider also playing Project Zomboid. If you haven't checked her out, might be worth doing. We may have killed a couple of zombies. Don't worry about it. It's a thing that's happening. So how was your stream? Hopefully, the only deaths were the zombies, and if not, hopefully they were at least fun and or educational. The stream is going well. We've been trying to get to Enigma books. We've killed a couple of zombies on that quest. You know, 2 or 3. But our car is currently stuck over by the bookstore, overrun by zombies, because we had to back off, because getting tired, sleepy, all that. And spent the last couple of days trying to retrieve our car. But, you know, zombie doing zombie things. I'm really hoping that horde isn't heading towards me and I can just keep going. Well, there's our car that we've been trying to recover this whole time. I'm pretty sure there's a horde of like 18 coming up behind us from the motel. Josie says, it was good, 16x pop, and yes, I didn't die. I got from 96 to 212 kills, lol, but nothing I knew. But it went well, and I got through the helicopter event on day 7 now. Excellent. There's nothing wrong with anything. And Olga also says, I died. Sad. Okay, come on. Let's see. Alright, so you're heading to bed? Good night, Josie, and thank you again for the raid. Let's see. We were saying that they're basically at the same point. I'll go to say that's what I get for staying in Muldrow. Yeah, Muldrow is a rough place. Quico said, spawning is hard on like 10 or 15 spawns where only 2 were actually doable. You want to spawn location 208, I think not 192, since you might get an isolated spawn, which is good. You might also get prison, which is instant reset for me. So I actually don't believe, I mean, if you get a prison cell, yeah, I kind of agree, you're SOL in that run. But there are a few spawns that suck, but ultimately, like, whether you get someplace that's out in the wilderness or even in the middle of the city, like West Point can be rough just because of performance. But honestly, when it comes to a lot of those, it's not as bad as it sounds. Like, okay, you go in this town, you can't loot a lot because ultimately you just kicked out of the town. That's actually fine. It's not that big a deal. It's gonna happen. And all you do is you just walk out of town, and there's just a number of places you can go that's kind of out in the outskirts that you can work with. Whether it's like the ice cream place south of Ekron, or the cabin to the west of West Point. Like, there's a bunch of kind of secluded places that you can get yourself on the ground. But yeah, there are a few legitimately terrible spawns. I won't argue that point. But it's not like there's only like 5 or 6 usable spawns. I mean, granted, I think the worst spawns you could have is anything on the east side of the map. That would actually be objectively terrible. Because there's just nowhere you can get away from the zombies over there. You've got just a huge hike to go. See, they've all piled up in the middle again. Why are we running slow? Like, we're exerted, but we're just moderately exerted. And that was twice now what to turn and burn, and we're moving not quite slow. And it's like, we're heating up a little, not enough that I expect to slow down though. It's like almost like we're carrying heavy load, but we're only at fairly. I'll catch up and chat in a minute. We're doing that whole thing where I'm dealing with entirely too many zombies. Okay, come on. Stop it. I want less friends. Too many zombies. Go away. Alright, let me catch up with chat. The Great Reader says, one time I spawned naked in a room with 5 zombies. That didn't last long. I can imagine. Baron says, does your car offer free Wi-Fi to the zombies? It looks very popular. The problem is the car is running, so it's making lots of noise, and it has the radio blasting, which also makes noise. Quenzi went to sick. MB, that's why you walk slower, not sure. Maybe that's why you walk slower? No, we're only at nauseous. That said, it still is a problem. I really just want to retrieve my car for the moment. But it's like every time we pull a couple of hordes and end up fighting the whole way home. Rhino says, how long can you hang around bodies before you get queasy? It's a good, like, couple hours, I believe. I'd say, like, an hour or 2 hours. I think it depends, like, how far they are, so far as, like, decaying going and just how many there are, kind of stuff like that. But, you can hang out around bodies for a little bit. Depressed makes you loot slower, but doesn't hurt your movement speed. Yes. We actually had a close call earlier today where I was hanging around the body so long that we got a bad fever and it almost got us. Like, all you had to do is get away from the bodies for a little bit and you'd recover. We're getting really low on our potatoes. We are out of potatoes. Yep. Yeah, if you're using oh, depending on which bar, yeah. If you're talking about the bar on the west end, then yes. If you're talking about the bar on the north end, then I believe with Pillow's random spawn mod you can, but with the base one I don't think you can. But yeah, that west end bar is actually a pretty common spawn point too. Like I want to sit in a chair and recover stamina, but I don't want to do it over all these bodies because we'll just keep getting sicker.
Mr. Nice Gamer 88 has subscribed for 4 months in a row. 4 total. Boop.
Boop. Thank you so much for subscribing for another month, Mr. Nice Gamer. 4 whole months? I really do appreciate that. So how's it been going? Actually, what I'm going to do, because I do this every time, and you can't stop me. Sorry, too late. It's done. Mr. Nice Gamer is fantastic, and if you aren't familiar with this stream, you should absolutely consider checking it out and dropping a follow and all that. Highly recommend. But yes, how's it been going, Mr. Nice Gamer? I haven't been able to tune into your streams the last last week or so. Very much enjoy the stream, but just haven't been able to make it over there. Been getting yourself in any kind of Project Zomboid shenanigan troubles? We're dealing with a thing. You can probably figure that out. Yep, I know how that goes. One of the things that's been kind of a big difference since last week is I actually am on sabbatical now. The frame rate is actually starting to hurt on this road. Okay. We really need to get our car back. Yes, I do. We almost actually died earlier due to just the number of corpses. Like, died from fever from corpses almost. Got to something like 10% health and managed to get ourselves stabilized and not dying anymore. Well, I know, keep being patient. I would just really like to get my car back. I'd also like to get into Enigma Bookstore, but immediately I'd like to get my car back because we are starting to get low on supplies. It'd be really nice to be able to take our car home. It's gonna aggro a bunch. I'm gonna have to just fight that pack. I've been trying to avoid it so badly, but we are just going to have to accept that this pack is getting fought. Not that they particularly had a reason not to fight. I keep forgetting just how fast we eviscerate these zombies with their hunting knife now. Oh yeah, Nimble is fantastic. Let's see. If we catch up. Yeah, I need a new killing street. We've talked about, like, once I get my car, I should probably go to this upper street and start clearing that while this all decays. Yep, I do need to be patient. And Rhino Throw is saying, did you rest and I missed it, or does your knife just use that little stamina? It just uses that little stamina. That is a reason why low-key short blades are one of the best weapons in the game for categories. They're not the best damage, they're not the best reach, they're not the best any of that, but you can just absolutely keep fighting and fighting and fighting and even recover stamina while fighting. Cyber Gods is asking, why is Nimble so good? So Nimble is your movement speed when you're got your weapon ready like I do here. And you can get to the point where you'll move faster than the Shamblers and all that while you have your weapon out. But the big thing that makes that so amazing is when I'm fighting, when you first start fighting, I'll stab and the zombies will gradually start overtaking you. So you have to kind of do this weird thing where you're like, okay, hit, back off. Like, you'll just have to keep backing up more and more. But the more nimble you get, the more you can just kind of squeeze out of range without actually taking the time to turn and walk away kind of thing. So nimble effectively lets you stay in the fight longer by being able to, like, sneak your way out. Stop coming from behind. I'm trying to finish off the last few. Get my car. Like, everything can be chill. We don't have to go and have everyone show up again. But yeah, like, once you get to, like, Nimble 4 and 5, you can do some amazing stuff. It's just BS. Like, one thing, as long as I'm not, like, exerted or anything like that, with, like, I think it's around Nimble 3, if you just keep walking straight back from the zombie, even though the zombie will get up to you and try and grab you, you move fast enough that you get out of range of the zombie before it completes the grab. I'm not going to do it because we're pushing sick, we're getting overheated, so I don't want to push it. Yeah, so what I'll end up doing is I'll roll with short blades and some other weapon. And so when I'm low on stamina, I'll switch to my short blade. When I get higher on stamina, I'll switch to whatever my other weapon is. So kind of ping pong back and forth. At the moment, I'm mostly sticking with the short blade. But, you know, it's been something to work with. Just because some of the high stamina weapon usage just burns stamina so much, I'd rather know I can keep in the fight without running out. It's just so easy, especially with, like, the fireman's axe, to lose track of your stamina and just find yourself burned out. Let me in the car. Let me in the car. I'm just trying to sit in here, recover some stamina. And I'm trying to leave that way back there. Oh, I should turn off the radio. So I'm trying to leave it way back here, so hopefully it won't draw a crap ton of zombies to it. And then we can sneak ahead, check the bookstore for just the one book we want. Weirdly, it turned the radio off, which I'm pretty okay with. I don't know why, but again, I'm pretty okay with it, because that just makes it that much quieter. So recovering us some stamina, taking a bunch of vitamins to keep us from falling asleep. Because I got a ton of them on me. The thing that will be a problem again is if we stay too long, it'll be our nausea and all that. Yep, vitamins, quote unquote. Oh, I'm sure it's fine. I couldn't imagine what would possibly be wrong with it. We're getting too hot. That's the problem, is we're getting overheated. What's the combat skills look like? Here, if you give me a moment, I'll hop in my car. Pull this up, slide it over. I'm going to go here and choose heater, turn that bad boy down. Alright, so we have our combat skills are almost all at 6 and 7 at this point, making good progress on a lot of them. So yeah, we're doing really good here. But we also are getting pretty close to having Nimble 5. We have our Fitness 6, Strength 7. I mean, you can see the rest here. But yeah, this is where we started on a build that we basically had 0 and everything. Okay, we have reached sick. And I did say this is going to be my cutoff for what we will be willing to accept. So it's time to back out. We are driving slow because if we go over these corpses at any real speed, we're going to be all over the road. So we have killed a few zombies on this road. Just a couple, don't worry about it, it's fine. I do think this is the point we are going to full retreat back to our main base, and yep, the car does not protect you from corpses. Like, nothing, the only thing that protects you from corpses is not being near corpses. Like, it's a proximity thing. Nope. Dust masks and gas masks do not protect you from corpses. There is people who claim that it will, like, reduce the rate, and I can't confirm that, but it doesn't, like, prevent it. You're near decaying flesh, it's just the way it is. Oh yeah, 16 pop is absurd. And this is like, some of these bodies have been decaying. We've been at this for more than 9 days. They do look cool though. Yes, certainly wearing the mask. And also, like, if it's super cold, the gas mask does have really good insulation. Oh, we've killed more than 2,000 on this road. We've killed well over 2,000. Like, we've killed more than 2,000 on this road in the last couple days. Because we crossed 30,000 this stream on this road. It'll be a slog. Yep. Oh yeah, no, that's the thing, like, I do like to try and keep the corpses off. The problem is we're getting to the late stages where there's just, you know, trees everywhere. How many crowbars have been on this road? Honestly, I think we're on our first crowbar we've done on this road. Maybe our second, tops. Now, if you ask me how many katanas and how many machetes and how many hunting knives and all that we've gone through, then the number gets pretty big. Hunting knives especially, we've been through at least 20. Thank you for the follow. Phase Natic, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so we are full back at this point, because I've got to restock on food, I've got to restock on weapons. Thank you, Evander. Welcome to the stream. Basically, we gotta do resupply run. So that means we're driving to Ekron. Because Ekron is where my main base is. Alright, well we will go faster once I know we're clear of the zombie corpses that are in the road. I'm not sure. Like, there's definitely some of the things you can't repair. I would be down for, like, the metal pipes, the metal bars, the lead pipes. Sure, all those 100%, no questions asked. My only hesitation with a crowbar is hardened steel, not just steel or lead. So there's, like, a whole process to that. Yeah, that's my whole thing. It's like, all the other stuff, like the pipes and that's like, no question, yeah, you can resolder that. Re-weld it. Yeah, sure. No question at all. But, like, the crowbar is the one I'm like, that specific one. Like, the shovels and all that, repair all those, sure. But it's the katana and the crowbar, I'd be like, no, probably not. Plus, I mean, the crowbar's durability is so freaking high already. If you could repair that thing, like, you wouldn't need other, like, you wouldn't need to pick up any other weapons or loot, because you would just, you know, you'd break it, you'd do the first repair, you get at 50%, and you could have another crowbar by that point. Especially once you start getting to high maintenance levels. I didn't see that zombie, so we're probably getting pretty close to 20 zombie kills that were not. The snow messes with my eyes when it's just patchy. When it's full on, great. When it's patchy, it makes it really hard for me to single out zombies in the road. But yeah, we have killed about 20 zombies by accidentally hitting them with our car. That said, the other 2,000 or 32,300 zombies-ish were killed by us because car kills don't count. Oh no, I agree. I just don't want to damage my car on them. It has nothing to do with giving consideration to the zombies. I just, you know, I want my car in good shape. And only 6 more days, and then it's, was it 6 or 7 more days? Either way, it's like a weekend game. And then we're done with winter, we're back into spring. And then I can actually fish for food and start farming again and all that. You can, but you have to like manually water it because it doesn't rain and it's, you know, a huge pain in the butt. Like you can if you really need to, it's just, it grows slower and just all the manual watering. Don't make me manual water. I do personally feel like winter should be more impactful with that, like winter just kills the plants. Just donezo. You know, maybe add a new type of plant that's its gimmick is it's like a perennial that just it, you know, goes dormant during the winter but just comes right back during the summer. Kind of like strawberries would do, just, you know, in this game the strawberries just grow forever. And then also Project Zomboid, tomatoes grow like that too. Just a heads up, Project Zomboid. Tomatoes grow the same as strawberries. You harvest them, the plant doesn't die, you get more later. Now cabbage and broccoli and all that, yeah, when you're done you just yank that out. Same with carrots and radishes. But yeah, so for those who haven't seen the beginning of this, if you remember how many, I mean, it's not as bad as Riverside was, but if you just think about this, the whole way we were fighting through these roads, there would be like hordes of like 12 and 18, like kind of the whole way up and down them that we had to clear. And we do have migration on, we do have multiple helicopters on, we do have meta events on, we do have redistribution on, like all of those things are on. This is how many zombies we've killed in the area. That we can just cruise and see nothing because they're dead. And then after the first group died and others showed up, we killed them. And same with the next group and the next group until nobody showed up anymore. We're currently working on that with Riverside, but actual towns have quite a bit few more zombies they can draw on before they finally start depleting their ranks. I did notice, though, we are starting to see a lot less zombies on that main road that we were killing. Like, other than the far end of the road that we were in the middle of working on, the rest of it we're seeing quite a bit less. We would hit the occasional horde, but instead where we had like 50 zombies closing in on us constantly, it seemed to be considerably less. Yeah, we're still nauseous. That's just how long we're near those corpses. We're not better yet. Can I do much with the zombie loot? So there are a good number of things you can actually do. Zombies are probably one of your primary sources of weapons as the game goes on. You can find katanas, machetes, meat cleavers, nightsticks, crowbars, fireman's axes, hand axes, hunting knives, all sorts of good stuff on them. So, excellent source for weapons. Sometimes I have stuff like vitamins, painkillers, beta blockers, antidepressants, all sorts of medicine. So that's another useful thing they'll give you. But otherwise, it's you can tear apart their clothes for tailoring purposes. You can tear apart their watches for electronics. You can also find backpacks on them that are helpful. Like, there are a lot of good uses of stuff you can get from zombie loot. Now, that said, you do start reaching the point that you start not carrying quite as much. Like, once you get a really good backpack, okay, you see a backpack, great, who cares? Alright, before we pump, even though this area we haven't seen a zombie in ages, just always do a little lap, make sure nothing's approaching before we refuel. Because you're really vulnerable while you're refueling. Because you always have the pumps like behind you, so you can't see what's coming from this side. You're blocked in the route you can run. But Yes, the military backpack is larger than the large backpack, but just a tiny bit. So, like, it's not necessarily worth going out of your way to try and get a hold of one, because I think it's like 1 or 2 extra units of storage. And then its compression is like 2% higher. It's very, very negligible. Like, it's stuff you might be able to fit in like one more food item or something, but not enough to like go out of your way for. Not that I complain about getting one, just it's not huge. Okay, so there's nothing there I care about. Oh, that's actually not in bad shape. Here I was like going, we need to get back because this thing's gonna be like 50% condition. It's gonna be like ready to start catching fire and all that. But no, it's doing fine. Our strawberries. Oh, we're out of radishes. Okay, so let's grab 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me your strawberries. 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so the latest addition to the katana bed. So we're now up to 15 katanas on the katana bed. So we got 10 here on this side, and then we got another 5 up here. So we sleep comfortably and in peace. Where are you from? What's going on? What's this here? Get this out of here. Oh yeah, we sleep with our katanas for extra safety. Okay, so we got a crowbar to back up our crowbar. We got 6 nightsticks. We're definitely short at the moment on our knife supply. Let's get rid of the painkillers. You only need painkillers if you get hit, so don't get hit. I still have a jar of leeks we found foraging, which is excellent. Thank you for the follow, the Master Pain. Welcome to the stream. Alright, so let's see. Go over here. Give me those 3. Thank you for the follow. Oberbose. Oh, Oberbose Licky? I don't know how you pronounce that. I apologize. If you could correct my pronunciation, I'll try and do better in the future, but thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. That sounds German. Or maybe Netherlands. Oberboselicht. I put too much on that. I don't know what it means, so I know, for all I know, I'm saying something awful, but it's been so long since I practiced my German. Brown Guy says, anyway, you could tell me the name of the last song that played by chance? Yes. Maybe. Where's the playlist? I don't want to name it. Maybe. I'm trying to find out that. Oh, come on. I know I can do this somewhere. That's the playlist. Unfortunately, it does not appear like it can. At least not that I'm finding real fast. Playlists? Oh god, that's so bright. Get it off my face. Not seeing a way to do it because I've not tried to do that before, unfortunately. I will say, what you can do is anytime you're curious about a song, you can do the command song, and it will show you what song is played. like is currently playing, but you gotta do it while the song's playing, unfortunately.